Well, hello, and this is the start of year video number 6, setting up preferences. Now, once you set up preferences, they will stick across the years. At least that's the goal, I hope. So I hope next year when you come back, whatever preferences you set now are still set up. Preferences are pretty cool in that we can do a couple different things. Now, I'll talk about the generic ones that you don't have to set that are always on the main page. For instance, if I'm in a particular class, so let's say I'm in this particular class here, I happen to be on the student view right now. You can notice that, and some people don't notice that. Student view, final grade. Final grade is going to come up later. Assignments. So right now, assignments is where I want to be. So if I change to assignment view and I look at this particular thing, I don't want to see all of the assignments. I just want to see some of them. Well, if I had a number of different assignments across here and it was cluttering up my view field, what I can do is I can come over here to the bottom left-hand corner and I can filter what I want to see. Right now the filters are off. But if I want to filter and put on filter selected, if I just simply choose, let's say, tests, well, what we'll see is that all the assignments went away. I don't have any tests loaded right now. If I click on quiz, I don't have any of those. If I go back to homework, well, then my homework pops up, and just my homework. So if I wind up with a bunch of assignments and I want to get them narrowed down and only see what is going on here, I just choose filter selected. I got to be careful because now it's going to follow me until I get rid of filter selected. So if I want to bring that back off, I just simply say filter off and it will show me all my assignments. So however many are in there, whether it's 100 of them, they're going to scroll across this bar to the right-hand side. I could do the same thing with students. Let's say that, you know what, I got a number of students in here, and you can see I got 31 active in here. So maybe I only want to see some of these students. So what I do is I'll go to filter selected on student view, and maybe I just want to see this student. Or maybe I want to see 2 students. Or maybe I want to see this student. I'm holding down the shift bar right now and I'm going down. If I want to see individuals, I'll use my control. And I'll choose a couple of different ones that I want. Excuse me. And I can pick one by one. Now I also could, at the same time, make a group. So within a section of students, all these active students, I could make a group. Now the group is the little plus sign piece here and the minus sign. So let's say that I want to add a group set. And let's say this is my group that comes in early and does extra work. So let's call these my extra work. These are the ones who like a little bit of extra work to happen. Now, extra work is right here. It's group number 1, and you see there's nobody in it, but let's say that I want this student to be an extra group. I just click and drag her in there. And this person here, click and drag in there. So now if I want to look at grades and I want to give, and I can give an assignment if I like, and I can give selected things, I can go to the filter select, and in the filter select, I can just simply choose to look at that group. Now that group will show me that group of students, which is really nice. Or I can look at them in between. If I decide that, hey, you know what, the group isn't really what I do, I can minus it, I can say yes, and the group goes away without any big deal. And I can make this entire group just simply leave, and it's out of here, okay? And you don't have to worry, you're not going to make your active group go away, so you're not going to take those out of the picture. Now, my preferences, though, and again, it depends on if you're on a Mac or if you are on an IBM, what you're working on. However, though, what you want to get to is you want to get to preferences. It's under Power Teacher and it's under preferences. So in your area where you're working at, you're going to get a little thing that comes up like this. There's a number of different pieces here. In one of my last videos, I referred to a comment bank, and you could use the score inspector to enter comments. Well, here's the place right here, comment bank, where you enter your own personal comments. So let's add a comment. Code, who cares what it is? Just start with something. Category, well, in category, I'm going to call this category positive, just so I know what it is. Now, this smart text thing is really cool. If you open it up, it has hyperlanguage, or it has language which it will query the information and look for pieces. The system knows him, her, his. It knows what it needs to add into a sentence that you could populate to an entire class. So maybe I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, okay, first name. So this is going to say, so let me think about it. Taylor is doing very well in my class. Period. I'm going to enter a smart text. He, she is always doing more than expected. Now, if I save this, and anytime I'm in the score inspector, and I'll jump back to a score inspector, so let's close this for a second. Say okay. Let's go here, let's open score inspector, like we did before in the last video, and look, there it is right there in my comment bank. Make sure you're not in the district, because in the district you won't see it, but in yours, my comment bank, and I can insert that thing right into, right here, and it popped up. Abigail is doing well in my class. I should have space there. She is always doing more than expected. I think that's just cool as heck. You can apply that to an entire category of students. If I was going to go with a fill, I could do a fill score, and in a fill score, I could replace all. I could choose comments when I go into replacing, so I'm going to replace everything in here. I'm going to give it some kind of collected, and I could give it a comment inside of here, okay? Now, going back to preferences again. When I had those preferences open, nope, don't want to save that. It's a nice system, it always tells me about that. I can add as many comments as I want in here. If you don't like it, what you just had, then hit delete, take it back out, and start over again. Now, one of the areas that we do have to be concerned with is this area right here under grading. And you can notice when you open grading, it says, when calculating grading, rounding should be rounded or truncated. Avon Local School Board of Education policy is truncating. The system will default to rounded. I need you to change to truncated. You can leave all of these checked, or you can take them away if you like, but there's really no sense in not showing them their letter, their percent, and their points earned. And then hit OK. Once you hit that, that will be saved for you. Now, a couple other things that were in that same preference window. Mail. The system does have the ability to mail classes. So if you want to enter a mail signature, when the system starts doing that, and right now it's not going to, as soon as it gets online and starts doing that, then you'll be able to mail your entire class. Score codes, these are things that possibly you want to add for a score code that you don't have. Like, for instance, you already had missing, you already had late, you already had collected. If you've got a special one you want to use, you can add it in and you can apply it. It's very nice that way. Sections. Now, this is nice here because, let's take a look at this. If you look up here at the top of my classes, it says 2, and let me take a look at this. It says Honors Algebra 6, 4. Maybe I don't like the way these come out. Maybe I don't like these names. These are the ones that come through EMIS and our schedules. But we can change these. So what we can do is we can say how to identify the class. Do you want to identify by the section period or by the section number? So I could change that, but I've got it down right now, period of day, because that makes most sense to me. Do you want the course name? That's the one, again, that's on the schedule. Or do you want a custom display name? Okay, well, I'm going to choose custom display name. I'm going to choose OK. Now, you'll notice that nothing changed up here. It's still the same. Well, I'll show you where we change that in a second. Okay? Come over to here. And inside of here, notice you have a tab that says Class Content. Right next to Grade Setup, Class Content. Click this. Custom display name. In here, I'm going to put in my first class. Hit Save. And you'll notice it changed to my first class. Now, it's either all or nothing. You either take the entire piece here and choose this. If you don't want a custom display name, but you want some other ones to go custom display name, then don't put anything in the box. If I go back to that preference tab one more time and finish up preferences here, we have spell check. You can add any words you want. Standards you're really not going to have to worry about at all right now. And students, if you want to, for instance, use, instead of last first, you want to use last first middle, you want to use first last, whatever you want, again, it's a preference. I hope this has done some good in taking care of preferences for you. And if there's anything else you require, please feel free to email me.